not a, I thought it was a Streamlabs problem. It's always a Streamlabs problem, but today it's not. So, yeah, I watched a couple of videos and planned this airplane. That's my whole experience so far, except for I guess I should turn on half bank. I would have thought this thing would have turned itself on. It was just Windows was having a problem with my microphone. Pretty ridiculously painful. Surprised the half bank didn't come on its own. They usually come on around 20, somewhere between 25 and 30,000 feet. Yeah, I'll have to see what's going on with the trees. I noticed last night in Jacksonville that I had no trees. And then I started up in Myrtle Beach a little bit ago and I had trees. And then I just took off from Dulles and it didn't look like I had trees again. So maybe I do, maybe I don't. So we will see when we get down there, I guess. I'll have to restart the sim and see if I can figure out what's going on. I feel like the sim is in alpha mode. You know, I keep thinking to myself, and the more I think about it, it's got so many problems. Some people have too many trees. Some say it's a tree, a load issue, LOD. 3D trees missing at some places. So I'll have to be careful to keep an eye on this. Apparently it's spotty. Well, there's people talking about it. I went to do this flight last night, and their servers were down. So I went to do an X-plane flight, and my hardware was messed up. And so my frustration level is not just with FS 2020, which it was. I mean, my mouth was hanging open. They've got a bug right now with the flaps that they're getting ready to fix, I think, next weekend. They created a bug. Now they've got to fix it. And so they're going to fix it and delay the world update, which is going to fix the autopilot issues. Once the autopilot issues are resolved, then I'll be able to fly the other airplanes, and I'm not going to mess around with the other airplanes until they fix the autopilot. autopilot in this flaps issue, especially the flaps issue. I could fly without an autopilot, but I'm not messing around with all the airplanes trying to fix the flaps. And so the trick is, I'm thinking of I've got to do some reading on when to turn on VNAV for descent. I mean, I could click it on now, right? See what happens. It's on. And so it wants me to descend at 1,800 feet per minute when it's ready for me to descend at 1,800 feet per minute. The trick is, how would I know if I was above or below where I was supposed to be? I'm 71 miles to here. There it is, top of descent. Good. What are you saying? Let's see, I hadn't noticed you were typing stuff. Let's see. They don't test enough, or they should do like laminar and have beta builds they can release in parallel. So we beta testers can spot issues. Yeah, I agree. They're gonna have to have a beta program of some kind. Their development schedule is aggressive, but their ability to test and find issues is pretty bad. You know, they keep trying to fix things, and when they fix things, they break something else. And this whole flap thing is a fiasco. When I saw the flap issue, my mouth dropped open. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And then, I mean, I was just dumbfounded because I was getting ready to take the CJ4 up then, and I was like, "Yeah, I guess I won't." And I flew some more. I flew the S550. Once instead. Then I took a couple of flights in the TBM. Haven't had too many successful streams lately because it just something goes wrong. Something really goes wrong. So yeah, I mean, I'm broadcasting this one live, and I'll probably delete this one afterwards because a whole bunch of stuff went wrong. I was trying to configure the airplane, and just it was not. I was fighting it. So it'll probably take me 3 or 4 times. When I can, I'll broadcast the thing, but I'll probably just delete it until I get the thing smoothed out. But, I'm glad you came along, quite honestly. You'll be the one that gets to see this, sort of just riding along. I wish I could show you the view out the back window, but, and I wish, they had, the views. Let's see. Yeah, so I still have to do things the old-fashioned way, like that. That's what the view on your side of the airplane looks like. Pretty cool. But I've decided I'm not going to fly their TBM. I mean, they've got a lot of work to do on that airplane. I'll probably just keep flying X-Plane. I like flying X-Plane at night anyway, so I mean, that's a no-brainer. So at night, when I'm night flying, I'll probably fly the TBM, the X-Plane TBM. And I'll do that on MatSim. And I get this thing sorted out and maybe get the V-pilot thing sorted out. Maybe I'll do some bad sim flying on this. But I've got a lot to learn about this airplane. I've probably got at least double my knowledge from what I know, and I've been studying it for hours already. It's still, I you know, I gotta see it do what it says it's gonna do. Like this top of descent thing, I'm thinking, am I gonna see a top of descent thing? Where's the top of descent? Does it show up here? Does it show up here? And there it is, of course. And then the question is, does it warn you? So I'm learning as I'm going, picking up all this extra knowledge, which I'm sure is in the manual, the book. The guy says there's a lot of information in the book. So I just, you know, when I have the time to read it, you know, quite honestly, sometimes I don't have time to read, which is why I like flying the TBM so much, because I've read a lot already on that. I've read, studied, watched videos, and watched landings and stuff like that. And this will be interesting landing this thing because I know. Oh, shit. Takeoff, flight on approach. All right, so. And I still got to get my keyboard set up, and I'm not happy with some of these view controls. And I'm just sitting there going, wow. I think the wind is pretty much calm. I'm not going to worry about it. Wind, 21 feet, 9,505 feet long. And I know that is exactly correct because I was there. And it's dry because check out cell. Oops. There's something. Let me do this. Let's see if this will work. No, it won't. I wonder if I can just click and go. There we go. Here comes the diamond. So some things are similar to the TBM. You know, you get the indicator telling you that VNAV is about to begin. You know, you don't get an audible alert. Yeah, I'm working on it. You don't go like that. I may have to put out speed brakes. There we go. I had to add a little bit of speed brakes. See if it requires speed brakes. See if it can keep its speed down without speed brakes. This thing is a rocket. I mean, it's. I'll have to see if it sticks. You know, I'll have to see if it's fun to fly. Did you do you fly X-Plane, Charpentier? Do you still fly it, or did you uninstall it, or what'd you do? Because they just announced, Aerobas just announced a E300 for X-Plane. So that's something interesting. Even though the clouds don't look as nice in X-Plane. I was asking myself, what is it about this that makes this look so much better? If flying down low looks great, the clouds look great. And some of the atmospheres. But mostly it's the clouds and the flying down low. Well, you haven't played it in months. You've been playing a lot of this, so you're probably much less frustrated with this than I am. Yeah, E300's, that's, I don't know what you fly in this, but it's not that complex. It's got a FADEC like this does. So, you know, it's computer controlled climbs, computer controlled startup. It's not an auto throttle, but auto throttles can be a pill too, if you ask me. I like having control over the throttle myself, and Fade X are beautiful for that. I used to fly the Mustang, the Flight 1 Mustang, and I just had a wonderful time flying that airplane. It's not overly complex. It's a great personal flyer, and I learned so much about flying that airplane. So, yeah, there's a lot I need to learn about this plane. But yeah, I mean, it should be, as I recall, the E300 is the big brother of the E175, and the E175 is very much like the Mustang. It's Mustang and that one are not quite. I think they're slightly above the very light jet arena. You know, X-plane weather looks better. X-plane night lighting is better right now. Right now, that may change. All this may change, right? There are times I like flying a super accurate airplane, but this one, the thing that attracted me to this one is that they are working on it and they are making it accurate, and they're doing the same thing with that A320. So they're really working on these two airplanes. A320 expected they'll be working on that one for a long time, like the Zebo, right? And that's sort of the interesting thing about what they're doing in FS 2020 is they're oh wait, you say. That's what's interesting is that they're doing the same thing here. It's the E300, I think. It's got a G1000. Oh no, not A300. No, it's an E300 Embraer. It's like probably seats 10, 12 people at the most. Maybe 8. It's a private jet. You should look at it. Coronado made one. It's awful, but they made one. And Aerobasque will do a better job than Coronado. And they say they're going to make it light on frames, which is doable. I mean, if the TBM can be light on frames, then yeah. So you might see me putting around in that thing. I don't know which one's going to stick. Yeah, that's the one. It's a nice airplane. I think the yoke's a little weird myself, but no doubt. Yeah, maybe it'll scratch that Mustang itch I used to have. I used to love to fly the Mustang. I mean, I could fly it and fly it and fly the crap out of it. I could do the TBM. I always fly the best airplane I have. This one's good so far. I'm not, I always get grumpy when I'm learning a new airplane. I always do. I can't help it. But somehow I fight through it. I come out on the other side in a better mood, you know, and then I can, you know, once I learn it, then and I start to really know it, then you start to feel like, yeah, well, today I feel like flying a, you know, a private jet. No, today I feel like flying the TBM, but I can only really fly 2 airplanes, maybe 3, so maybe, and one would be a low and slow. So each one would be in a different class. Be a low and slow, not too slow. The TBM is probably can always be there for the middle one, and then a high flyer, and that'll probably be it. And you know, I'll have to see what happens when the 777 comes out, because I used to love to fly that airplane too. That one is a huge challenge. But, you know, I have to think about that because there was a lot I had to learn just about flying navigation systems back when I was learning it. How to handle the nav system. And I still have a lot to learn there. I was learning a lot from, what's his name? Pilot 707. I was learning a lot from him. But I need to, you know, I can only fly 3. I have to choose wisely. So we're descending at idle at 208 knots. 208 knots. It's another thing I don't like about FS 2020 is their fonts. I can't read these things. I can read them on X-Plane. Why can't I read them? Oh, it's partly because I can't play the game in 4K. That's right. This is not 4K. Weird that they wouldn't allow me to play this in 4K. I'll fix that someday. It's weird why the weather isn't working tonight. Look at that sky. I love that. That is just flipping gorgeous. Well, I've got a good PC, but I don't believe, if you can pardon me just for a second, I don't believe, let's go here. Yeah, the highest, oh, this is 4K, right? 1920, yeah, that's it. Let's see what that does. All right, go back. Apply and save. Resume. Now let's see how those fonts look. Now I can read them a lot better. Now well, actually my frame rate's great. Now I can friggin' read them. Thank God. Yeah, I need a real beast. I'm getting 32 frames here. We'll see what happens when we get down low. And of course, well, I have trees down low, right? And you know, all that. I assume the altimeter is 299 or 2 at Myrtle Beach. I get the ATIS. Nearest airport list. Back. See, this is just like FSX. Fayetteville. Let's see what the altimeter is here. .279 at 8, visibility 6. That's better. Now I can read the damn thing. I can actually read this. Sitting back where I'm sitting. Temperature 15, dew point 13. Never use dew point. 2992. So I'll just assume it's going to be 2992. X-plane night lighting is, from what I've seen, it's a little better these days. Not that I think it can get much better, whereas I think, not with the technology that they're using, whereas I think that the night lighting in FS 2020 can get better. I do think that they can, and they're being certainly more aggressive about getting those changes in. And their nav displays look, wow, look at that cloud. Oh crap. That is beautiful. You've got to learn things like where the temperature is. Minus 13. So you've got to watch out for icing. So, windshield. I don't think I'll need engine anti-ice, but I'm going to turn it on. The thing that bugs me about this airplane is they really don't show you a lot up here. You know, you get your trims, you get your flaps, you got your gas, you've got your oil PSI. It's not even a gauge, it's just a number, and the oil temperature. And then here's V1, here's ITT, and I guess that's V2 right there. I don't know what AI is. AI. The approach is 0. It's not happy with something I haven't put in. Wind. Let's put in, well, you would think that I could put in calm, but 270 at 8. So that tells it that one-way slope. Let's see what happens if I go next now. Nope, the approach is still 0. What else? Pressure altitude is there. Okay. Runway 18. One-way slope is 0. Oh, the key's not active, so you really can't put it in. Think key not active, so clear that. And next, I could try to send. Key not active, whatever that is. KMYR, runway 18. Outside air temperatures, we'll say it's 15. Maybe that's what it was. There we go. Complete. It says it's complete. Preset VOR1, tune. Why does it say preset VOR1 when I'm pretty sure that the ILS is 109.5? 109.5. So we're flying right up to it. 14,000 feet, 213 knots, we're okay. I don't see my B speeds, even though it says it sent them. It doesn't look like it tuned in 109.5, though it may have another frequency somewhere. But you would think that it would know, it would say that. Shut off engine anti-ice. Windshield. So what's our frame rate? Still in the 30s. I can't tell if they're trees. It doesn't look like it, if you ask me. Hard to tell. Hard to tell. We'll see. So, you know, I could fly it manually if I have to. So V approach is, can't quite read that one. V ref is 103, V approach is 110. Okay, that's about right. A nice view. And I wonder if the colors change based on the atmospheric conditions. Like, if you're flying over a desert where the air's dry, the air's going to be different colors than when you're flying over humid air. You know, like red sky at night, red sky in the morning, and all that kind of stuff. And speaking of a beast of a PC, this is an i9 with a 2070 Super in it, with 8 gig of video RAM. So I don't think that's a beast of a machine, not anymore. But it's not bad. Probably higher end. So what is this thing gonna do? So I could go ahead and click approach. Have you been, where you been flying? England? Have you been flying there? I haven't bought any of these city sceneries yet. I don't know if they're worth it. So I am going to pick up Bob Hope. It's on sale. Bob Hope is on sale with Orbix. And that's one of my all-time favorites. So I'm just glad somebody did it. So UXDEP is the initial approach fix. What's the final approach fix? C223. Does it know what my minimums are? Like, how did it do? 177 is the course. They renamed these fixes. Bevet is the final approach fix. So by Bevet, I need to be below 160, I think it says, or 130, something like that. But I'm not going to be real aggressive. I'm just going to get it on down to 110. I don't know this airplane well enough to where I can be aggressive. There's the runway over there. Yeah, it is. This is where FS 2020 has X-plane just slaughtered. Like if you know, it just depends on what you're in the mood for. You know, if you want a really good, accurately flying airplane where you know where all the controls are and you know that they work, and that's probably X-plane. If you want beautiful visuals, then you probably want FS 2020. Honestly, since I fly mostly higher flying airplanes, of course it's the clouds, right? The clouds is what really, that's what I was looking for when I saw this sim. Wow, man, that looks gorgeous over there. So we'll see what this thing does. I could put in, let's see, what did I say, 103 and 110. And if I go to tune, I can put in 109.5 and just have it sitting there. Oh, it's already dialed it in. Okay. See, that's what I didn't know what it was going to do. So, where does it identify your... So we're still doing 222 knots on idle, just about idle. Wow, this is so cool. I mean, this is really cool.
Altitude.
If I knew how to make buildings in this, I would start making Myrtle Beach hotels and Florida hotels, for that matter, just for the fun of it, and put them down there. I'm gonna let this. Let's see. We're descending from Uckstep, so I need to pull my engines all the way to idle. Actually going to put a little bit of spoiler out. I want to get below 180. This thing is a beast. And you know what? This is nothing compared to the Latitude. Look at that. See? It flipped over to the localizer all by itself, which is what I was hoping, but I didn't know for sure. And it overshot. Rather, oh, that's because of me. There's 180. Okay, so we're doing 180. I've got the spoilers off. I'll get... See, I don't know my flap speeds either. Someplace has got to be a plaque. It doesn't have to be. This is a sim, right? but wait, doesn't say down there either. Oh, I'll put flaps 1 out. Should be good. And here comes the gear. See, I want to see the hotels. All those hotels that go from here all the way up that way. See, is approach still armed? It is. Localizer, glide slope is picked up, and just let the speed keep coming down. I'll try to fly this by hand. Wow, this looks good. I've already forgot the speeds. 110, right? Next. 110. Oh.
Autopilot.
We'll target 110. We'll try to do 110. Watching my AOA up there on the console. It's not awful. Gentle flare in this airplane. Just floating. One of the developers was saying he thinks it might float too much. Maybe. I flared too high, but you know, it's okay. So welcome to Myrtle Beach. I flared too high. high, and I'll have to work on that. But I have a lot to work on this airplane. I know quite a bit more, but I'll do some more reading. Pretty much know the FMS, pretty much. But you know, and it's not too bad. Everything you expect it to do, it does. Everything you wonder if it'll do, and you kind of hope it does. Lights, icing, flaps. And there's trees. Look at that. And I'm using my brakes to slow this thing down. This used to be an Air Force base, and I worked here. I worked right there in that great big tall building, control tower. And they've turned this area over here on the left over into a kind of like a mini mall kind of an area with some shopping, a movie theater, and some artsy apartment kind of thing. A fair amount of the old stuff is still there. And this thing is just taxiing. Right there. And I assume that's the FBO right there. The FBO is actually here. It's really nice. I knew the guy that I think he was the airport manager, and it's just a really nice FBO. First, it's small, but it's really nice. Very elegant. The ramp needs some serious work. It needs repaving badly. You gotta ride the brakes on this thing to keep it from taxiing forward. Parking brake set, yep. The little stuff is starting to work. So yeah, not dissatisfied. What airplanes do you fly in FS 2020, Charpentier? I'm real curious about that. It disengages the starters. That's off. Avionics off. Total time of flight, 9 minutes and 43 seconds. That's right. I have no idea what this is talking about a long time ago. Like why is it showing me that flight? How do you like the Coronado Mooney? Is it good? I have looked at that airplane. It's something. Let's see. So Coronado. guess I would have to go here. I've heard mixed reviews on that Seminole. Um, let's look it up this way. Explain. Here it is. I was flying in the pattern one day in a PA-28. I think it was. Pretty sure. I think so. And I was on downwind, and there was a Mooney behind me. I don't know what model, probably like this one. And I was going out for my normal downwind, and that guy cut inside me, turned final, and landed before, and then was turning off the runway when I was turning final. I mean, it was, I was sitting there with my mouth open going, holy crap. I mean, that guy knew what he was doing. You went to Aero 3, huh? I'm not sold on the Aero 3. You talking about the Coronado, or are you talking about the Just Flight? So, you've flown the Seminole, huh? I like the Seminole. There's just some things that, well, some of the things I've read about it, it sounds like typical Coronado stuff. Not bad. They're usually pretty good with steam gauge airplanes. So it's not bad. It's just if I owned a Seminole, I would want different equipment in it. So, that's a piece of the equation that I think Coronado doesn't necessarily get. If they want to sell some, they should have cockpits with different configurations. The thing I like about the Mooney is these gauges right up here and the landing gear knob right there. This, because you can see everything right there. It's perfect for a sim airplane. Oh, it is? Yeah. The guy, yeah, I'm pretty sure I know who still does even though he bitches about it a lot, the guy that does the FDEs for Coronado, and he is brilliant. Whoever does their graphics is obviously amazing, but the guy that does their FDEs is brilliant, and people like to get on Coronado about their systems, and they grab everything else and they try to drag it down to the gutter with it. It's all about opinions in that regard. But his FDEs are amazing. That's why I think the Cheyenne is an amazing airplane, because I think he nailed everything about that airplane. So, yeah. So it's really something to see. But yeah, I like this airplane. And it's even got an altitude selector. See, the Seminole doesn't have an altitude selector. And it's weird to me. Why would they have it I mean, I get it. It's whatever the airplane has. And if a Seminole doesn't have it, it doesn't have it. But they could offer two different cockpits, which they've done occasionally, and have them equipped differently. This is this is a fairly speedy airplane, having an altitude selector. Even that one, not my favorite piece of equipment that they've ever made, but it's got that. It's got a fairly crappy autopilot. It's okay. It's got a nice HSI right here. This is nice. There's your trim indicators. It's all right in front of your face. It's for a single engine airplane, it really is a great design in the real world. And for a sim, it's all right here in front of your face. It's really good. So yeah, for low and slow, this one would, and look at the 174 knots. I never look at the outside pictures. You know, you notice about me, I don't step outside of the airplane very often because I feel like I feel more like I'm flying if I don't do that. Yeah, look at that. All your gauges are right there. This would be good for you know, flying somewhere. I don't know what this is down here. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice to fly that in real life? Noisy, I'm sure, but get yourself a good noise reduction headset. I'll have to look at it some more. I just, you know, I'm pretty content at the moment with the default ones, and I want to see how those go. I'd love to fly the Latitude, but I don't think it's in shape. I think it's this one here, the CJ4 was not in very good shape when those guys took it on. It was way overpowered. You know, they just really they built it to look like it and not act like it. And those guys, they just sort of said, okay, well, we'll fix it. And so it's getting to be in pretty good shape right now. But yeah, you're right. I mean, if you were gonna buy a airplane, you know, this would be a great family airplane to, you know, take on a probably 600-700 mile trip. That's 3 or 4 hours. Flying more than 3 or 4 hours is tough in a little airplane like that. It's like flying a Volkswagen. Or not flying, but driving a Volkswagen for 3 or 4 hours. You know, after a while it gets to your legs. Guess I gotta go back. Sexy front end. There you go. And I mean, look how few switches. You got these 5 down here. Got all these. But, you know, you got these 3. It's your ailerons. Do you have to switch tanks on this thing? Sharp NTA? Or does it do it manually? Does it do it automatically? They don't show you much here. They don't show you much at all. I'll have to look at some videos. You do have to switch the tanks. Does it have cowl flaps? I would think it would. And this is a turbo, right? Doesn't say. Look on the left side. Down here somewhere. Is that it? Oh, it's oxygen. And in the PA-28, it's right down here by your left leg. Non-turbo. Okay, so you have to lean it out as you climb then. A turbo, you don't lean out as you climb in general, because the turbo is pushing air into the fuel system. So it's keeping the air dense for you. So you do have to watch your CHTs. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll watch some videos. I'll take a look. Like I said, I've been looking for a low and slow, a lower and slower. And, you know, it's going to be a while before, you know, it's just really a picking of, you know, me picking which airplane that I'm not all that in love with. Of course, I've never flown a Mooney in a sim. How much does this thing cost anyway? In-game market. Well, let's go back to the main menu. I may try the CJ4 again tomorrow. It's going to take me a little bit of time. I can't say that I've been a real... Why can't I click Marketplace? It won't let me go into the Marketplace. I don't know why. Denver. I have to look at this Denver. And LAX. KMCO. Sedona. Telluride. Logbook. It won't let me go over there. Next level 50 hours. It's like it's thinking that I'm offline or something. Wait for the Arrow 3. Now, which Arrow 3? Are you talking about the Coronado one, or are you talking about the Just Flight one? I'm going to quit the desktop and restart it. See if it'll let me go into the Marketplace. The Coronado one is more up my alley. Just Flight, yeah, yeah. See, I used to rent PA 28s at an Aero Club up in New Jersey, and they didn't even look as bad as the ones that the one that Just Flight made. The ones I was flying were uh, they were Piper Archers and Piper Warriors, so non-retractable gear, non-complex, and they, don't get me wrong, they were in pretty bad shape. At least to rent those. To me, they were in bad shape. Sometimes they were in good shape, but occasionally they were in bad shape. And that's, you bring your flight bag, you're ready to go do a flight, and you go check the airplane out, and you have to turn around and just leave because you can't, it's just not in good shape on that particular day. And, you know, but, when I looked at what I hope Just Flight does is I hope that they release an updated PA-28. If you look at the way Coronado's is laid out, and their flight model is going to be good. Their looks are going to be good. It's just the systems are going to be crap. And it kind of pisses me off that they decided to release their PA-28 at the same time as Just Flight. They do that to folks. They've done it before. They did it to folks with the King Air. They did it about 3 or 4 times. And when Coronado comes in, everybody stays away from the airplanes that Coronado makes, because Coronado makes them cheaper, and it takes away how they perceive profits. And yet, you see people make still can't get into the marketplace. Nope, I can't. Yeah, but if you look at Coronado's Aero, it's a more modern. It's not a G1000 one. Not a real fan of a G1000 Aero anyway, but it's got a more sim-friendly dash where you've got the manifold pressure and the RPM right here. So it's better for simming. So my hope is that Just Flight makes a modified version or a newer version. Hold on just a sec. It's my son.